blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
In the center.
Alrighty. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the center.
Hey.
Oh man, hold on a sec. I'm trying to get background. I weren't ready, as the saying goes.
This is what happens when we do a podcast on Colonizers Day.
Understood. Oh man.
Well.
So, yep, it is 4th of July for those that didn't know.
Yeah.
Not everybody is screaming independence, but we're gonna leave that alone.
Right.
We ain't gonna touch that. But fellas, how y'all doing, man?
Hey. It's been a long week.
Yeah. Can you believe it's a new month? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Another one.
Another one
bites the dust. Who sampled that? Anybody said who used that song?
Has anybody? I don't think I've heard a sample of that yet.
Oh yeah, you have.
Yeah, somebody has.
I can find that out real quick. I can't think of it right now, but it's been done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, rabbit hole.
No, you're good. For the longest time, I know my man here has been busy and everything like that, but he has missed this opportunity. I got to do this though for him because it's true. We all have to take a moment. This is one of my favorite setups. Let's see, where's everything at?
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
The real.
We're gonna do this right. Hold up. Here we go. Let me turn it up.
Oh boy. This ain't got nothing to do with hip hop, but all right.
Summer vibes, man. Summer vibes. I know D-Ray's the beach man, so I had to give him his
facts.
I had to give him his love. But anyway, this is summertime, so we're about to have that vibration. Okay. All right, so it's all good. All right. So, yeah, this was created most of all for my man D-Ray because he's a beach guy. But also, it's the summer. So, we vibing on that summertime now. So I'm going to leave that background, but we got music and all that other good stuff. So, D-Ray had his contribution today. The song is called Who I Am. Almost messed it up. Let me turn it up. Oh, dang. I'm like, it's way over here. Hold up.
There we go.
So I was talking softly.
There we go.
down a little bit. Yes, sir.
That sounds like a placement in a Tyler Perry movie or TV show or something.
Hey, I'm not mad at it.
That'll do.
Thank you. I'm not mad at that at all.
He said he'll take it.
I'll take it.
So let me turn this down just a little bit one more again. D-Ray, I want to give you the mic to more or less make some common sense to the situation of Timberland.
Oh,
with,
Lord. Yeah.
Sumo and the whole jacket for beats and all of that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we all got a lot to say about that.
Yeah. And so, real quick, because it's a pretty involved story, but basically, Timberland uses this AI program called Suno, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically is an AI platform that you can type in whatever kind of music that you want, and it'll spit out track ideas and stems, and you can basically put tracks together just using AI. You don't even have to have any kind of musical background. And so apparently what Timberland did, he took somebody else's beat and fed it into this program so that the program would learn how to make that same beat from this producer that not a lot of people know who he is. And so he can kind of get the essence of it and kind of keep it there. And so someday he'll be like, hey, I want to beat like such and such, and it'll spit it out. Yeah. Very, very problematic.
Wow.
It's almost reminiscent of one of them kung fu movies we would watch on Saturdays, where you got the enemy going around stealing the essence of people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's unfair because on so many levels, you'll never know what that AI has been taught about your music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
There's really no way, unless you have proof that it happened, there's really no way to kind of govern that. I did a little experiment myself because there's another program that's similar to the one Timberland uses, and
Udio.
It's by Output. It's called Co-Producer. And anyway, just for an experiment, I said, create a beat like the Divine Favor Project, which is my band and my partnership with my wife. And so what it did, it went and analyzed every Divine Favor Project beat that was out there, and then spit out a version of my own music. And it sounded like something that I would write.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of spooky,
Wow.
So how'd you feel about that? How do you like it? Did you like what it gave you?
Yeah. I mean, like literally, I could have used that, and y'all would have never known. Yeah, you would have never known that it was me through the eyes of a AI mimicking me.
So this is, I'm sorry, this is where I figured we'd be like, 30 something minutes into the pod before I brought this up.
Right.
But since you went there, D, this is why my opinion, right, is that there should be a distinction made. There should be a difference made. If somebody wanna come on here, somebody like me, I'm not a producer. But if you some rapper out here that wants to get beats, and you want to bypass paying a producer, you gonna get you some AI beats that sound like something that you want.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna do. That's what's being done.
Right.
But there should be a distinction made with that track. So that means the whole system changed. much.
So let me.
Because if I got real quick, if
Yeah.
I write my own, if I write my rhymes,
Mm-hmm.
but I get a AI beat. Looking at, okay, how you do your ASCAP, how you do your BMI, how you do that.
I'll tell you.
There needs to be a whole nother category.
I'll
AI.
tell you. Yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna tell you why as it stands right now, that can't happen. Right.
No.
Number one, and keep this as kind of like a baseline. U.S. copyright law states that you cannot copyright an idea. Right? So if you have an idea, that can't be protected. You can have an actual song or something tangible, but you can't copyright an idea. And so that's kind of the loophole with this AI stuff, because it doesn't really spit you out. I mean, it spits you out stuff that you can actually use, but really it's an idea. And that's really hard to govern. You know what I mean? And so in this particular case, let me describe it to you. In this particular case, what the AI spit out for me is what I would go and get on a licensed loop site, right? It spit out a kick, it spit out a sub, it spit out keys, and pretty much that's all I need. I could do the rest.
Oh, so it just gave you sound. It gave you sounds.
Yes. But it also gave me a track too. So it gave me the MP3, but like I could still get the stems to do what I want to do with it. That's hard to govern. And I could put anybody in there. I could put your group, Mike, and it'll go back, analyze all the stuff that they can listen to y'all from when y'all were signed, and spit me out a beat that sounds like something y'all would have did in the 90s.
See, this is
now,
it's a systematic thing, man. It's gotta. Okay, they say AI is changing the world, right? It's the biggest thing since the internet. Then the internet changed everything. Then you have to change laws. You have to create new laws. Okay, you got to do it again. You got to do it again.
You can't. I'm gonna tell you why you can't with the music. You can with like visual stuff. You know what I mean? Like you can with like the fake pictures or the fake video. AI kick drum is going to sound like an actual kick drum.
Yeah.
There's no way that you can say that beat is AI. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
there's no way for you to be able to tell.
Here's what I think. It needs to go by numbers, by percentages. It should go by percentages.
Right.
This if let's say I'm just some dude, regular dude. I don't write rhymes. Rhymes. I don't produce no music.
Right.
But it can give me everything. It can literally give me everything. Hey, I want. So then if it literally gives me everything, and all I did was prompt it. Let's say you give the prompt as 10%. Right? Let's say you give the prompt as 10%, and then it gives me everything else. That's 90%. Right? So that means 90% AI.
So
all I did was say it.
So
and I just said it.
First of all, not to cut you off, but no self-respecting producer is going to ever tell you where he got his beats from. That's number one. So you can say
embedded.
No, because you'll never know.
It's going to have to be embedded.
Mike, there's no way you'll never know.
Well, here's where the government has to come in.
Wait a minute,
regulate this stuff. It has to, bro. It has to. It's too much Wild West. Too much of the Wild West. If it can regulate, if you pass the regulations, it has to. You gotta understand where I'm coming from.
I feel you, but I'm telling you,
it's like you coming in with guns blazing, and you can just shoot up and do anything and everything you want, and then nobody got nothing to say about it. How you gonna have this? Is ultimately this is gonna like destroy. It's gonna destroy Grammy. Not really destroy it. I shouldn't say destroy it, but it'll be like you don't know what people are actually really doing. It's like saying it's like you back in the day with your boys and say yeah I've been with her yeah oh I got this and I got that, and dude ain't nothing but lying. You just lying. You're just lying. You're not really a producer. You're not a rapper. You're not a producer. This thing did everything for you. It's crazy. Bro.
You know the main thing about what you're saying. You know who raises the most static when it comes to AI music production? Other producers. We get in forums, we get in debates with each other.
Yeah,
because
don't care.
We actually care. The actual public could care less.
Because it just
I'll give you an example.
It's just consumers. They don't care.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mike,
just give me what I want.
I'll give you an example. Mike, what was the last concert you went to? The last real concert you went to?
Well, I went to Rock the Bells.
Okay.
That's it. I went to Rock the Bells.
Who was the headliner?
It's going to be 2 years now.
Yeah, who was the headliner?
L was the last act.
Okay, so his music is easy to come out of a computer, but like if you go to concerts today and you look and you see the drummer, half of the time the drummer's not really playing. What you're hearing is a performance track that gets triggered whenever the drum hits, whenever the stick hits, right?
Okay.
You don't know that because you're not a producer or whatever. So when you're out there, you're enjoying the show. Meanwhile, producers are looking at that like, man, you don't even have.
We had performance tracks back in the day too. That's not. I mean, it's.
I'm talking about
level.
musicians though. It's different when you got a performance track, but while the musician having to have a performance track, that's kind of
They up there fronting. They beating the sticks like they doing something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Actors.
It's just. I can't put it like this. It comes down to let's say award shows.
Okay.
And this dude, you got somebody that is, let's say a very magnetic personality type of person, but they're not really a creator.
Right.
Let's say they're not really a creator. And let's say it's that same category of what I did. You just went in there and did 90% of the work.
Yeah.
But everybody loves you.
Yeah.
You're a great personality, blah, 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 blah. Wonderful. I'm not taking nothing away from the person. But you didn't do anything but perform. But you get a Grammy?
Okay. Before we go too far,
I think this should be a different category. It should be just categorize it. This is an AI artist.
Okay.
Versus a real artist.
Once again,
separate it. Just separate them.
Once again, though, every technological advance in the 20th century always had a group of people going, "That's not real music," right? So, in the 30s and the 40s, you had to have a band, orchestration. You had to know where they placed and everything. Yes. By the mid 50s, now you have a rock band, but you also have multi-track recording. You had to at one time you had to hire backup singers. Now you got artists that can do their own backgrounds. So and then
everything went into the keyboard. Everything is in the
right. And what really kicked all of this off that we're having right now is the Digital Home Recording Act. I want to say it was '89, but that is where you had consumer level digital products that consumers could buy that was on the same level as pro audio stuff. Mm-hmm. So basically, this gave creed to DAT tapes and the mini disc and all of that other stuff, right? That we were on. Now we were on the same level. So
yeah.
So every time you have that, you're gonna have somebody that goes, that's not real music. The only thing that I'm gonna say, and I'm not gonna defend it or whatever, because I have used it, but I use it a little differently. But the thing is, it's like, it's still gonna have to have a soul. I don't care if you're a musician or you're trying to direct a musician or finding the right sample. It has to have some intent, and it has to have the soul. You know what I mean? So that's why I think that's why I'm not too worried about it.
I think, and I think there's always going to be people that are purists. Always. It's just like, who would care? Why do we have the resurgence of vinyl? Why are people trying to get Walkmans? you know what I'm saying?
I can't understand that one.
Yeah, why? Because there's always this thing of people feel like realism is slipping away, and there's always value to that. You know, right. Why do we care about paintings that are selling for $1 million? You know what I'm saying? Right. Who cares? Right. It's a painting.
Right.
It absolutely does nothing. It's what we as humans tend to place value on. Right. Whatever you place value on, very down to our money. Money isn't anything. Money is not really real, you know. But it's what we place value on. My thing is when it comes to, okay, where there's a game changer has to do with the law. I agree with everything you said. I agree with every word you said. Mm-hmm. But we have this aspect of the law that comes in, and it's like, yeah, I know what I said. Yeah, there's gonna be. You still want to make a separation between the real and the computer, the real and the computer generated. You want to make a distinction. And the movies, we kind of want it that way. We want the effects to look real, right? When it comes to the music, if you're a maker, yeah, you want it to sound like okay, like we love Dilla. Dilla try to capture being in the pocket when you playing drums for real. Like he literally made it sound like, yo, is he really playing drums in there? You try to do that and you try to imitate that realism. There's still a distinction to be made when it comes now, but you bring in that element of the law now. And it's like, yo, they're getting it. The AI is training off of whatever it's getting from the internet and from whatever else these Udio and Suno guys, however they said that they got stuff that was just off the internet and whatever they accumulated for free or whatever, right? But then we got this story with Timbaland where he ends up with I forget my man's beat, K Fresh or something like that. He ends up with that beat. He apologizes and says, you know, I should have done my due diligence. You know, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. Okay. How many times has that happened, though? We don't know how many times has that happened. That's probably happened hundreds of times, thousands of times. And
here's what I'm going to say, Mike. And like I said, you not being a producer is fine, and you kind of don't get it, but it's fine that you don't. But trying to identify an AI beat is like trying to identify a human tear in ocean water.
We can already do it. It's already done. You
can't.
Yes, you can, homie. Deezer has the tool to do it. These are the other.
So here's the thing.
Company. They're making a distinction between the AI music and actually made music. They're already making the separation.
Now here's the thing. That's kind of where I draw the line, because if you're gonna use what just got spit out, then yeah, that's where you're like, okay, come on. But what I'm talking about is you could take elements, and put your own spin on it, right. And now you just have an AI generated root idea that you built on,
and that's better.
And you can't catch that. That's what I'm saying. You won't ever be able to catch that.
But but what you're saying, that's better. Yeah, you're basically being a musician. You're still basically being a musician.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't play the instruments. You
Right.
know, you still have to have a good enough of an ear to say, I like this one, not that one.
Mm-hmm.
And you still have to tell it, okay, take this, and then put these together.
Right.
Instead of give me a beat that sounds like Dr. Dre. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, pretty much.
No. If you just want to play around with it, like me, you just want to play around with something and put it out there and see what happens. Mm-hmm. But dude, if I'm gonna make a real album, like, is it really, this is like extra real serious now? No, we're gonna really make something for real.
Right, I get it. Last thing I'm gonna say about this, because I know we're at the bottom of the hour. That is really what you mentioned is kind of the self-correcting trap when you're using this kind of platform. Because if I sit there and say, hey, I want a Dr. Dre beat, I want a J Dilla beat, I want Just Blaze, I want whatever. Now you're running the risk of you copying somebody else blatantly, and people are not going to respect you. Even the consumer is going to go, you trying to be like such and such. You know what I mean?
Well, that's how they training. That's how they getting their info. That's this data. They have to get. What I heard about that, like just how AI works. Period. Nothing to do with music. It's just how it learns. It's data. It said the better the quality of the data, the better the result you get.
Now think about this. And y'all know, if y'all followed Blast over the past few years and on various platforms, y'all know that I've really preached against using these beats off of YouTube, right?
Right.
And these leasing of beats, right? Now, but think about this. Think about the possibility of me ripping that MP3 off of YouTube, feeding it into AI. AI spits me back a beat that was based off of a lease beat that now I no longer have to lease.
Yeah, it's just a little different. just a little different. It's Chinese. Sorry, dude. Oh, did I say Chinese? I didn't mean to say Chinese. Oh, I said it again. Sorry. I said Chinese again.
This dude.
But that's what I mean. If y'all ever heard the story of Crocs, how the Crocs got developed,
right?
Dog. I mean, and that's just a basic example of so many inventions and products that have been made. Nothing to do with music, but it's the same concept.
Man, look,
it's the same principle.
You bringing up something. I know we got this break, man, but real quick. People got to understand how Timbaland actually does music when he's producing. He has a team of lesser known, unknown producers that's on his staff, right? Mm-hmm. They sit there, come up with the beats or come up with the ideas, but they work for him. So when it comes out, it's going to say produced by Timbaland. No, it's going to say produced by Timbaland.
Yeah.
Because he owns their work, right?
Yeah.
That's because he has it on staff. Using these AI thing is just like having a digital producer on staff. Whatever they spit out, I can put my label on it because I told it what to spit out.
Yeah, and you can do that. Just the same way you put you in there. And it came out with another version of you. You had a little Soul Res baby.
I did know a little bit.
You had a bastard beat.
He had to check the room.
Make sure we see a hand come flashing through there. A hand will come flashing through the screen.
You saw me jump real quick.
So, fellas, I'm gonna go ahead and grab control of this. We're halfway through.
Goodness.
So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the I'm gonna go through our segment. I actually decided to do this or that segment, but it's gonna be with a twist.
Uh-oh.
So let me do the intro of this or that. Now, what's cool is Kevin and I had talked about this. We had talked about we always did this or that with music, but what about the other elements of hip hop, which is DJing, dancing, graffiti? So I was like, I agree with you. So I do have one music and one DJ, and I'm gonna leave those later, but the other ones are definitely dance. So let me show you these. This is a this or that with two amazing dancers. So check it out.
That boy control is nice right now. Woo, woo. Hit him with a sauce. Woo. Yeah, Get it out. What was that? Let's go.
All right. Both of these dancers, one of my faves. The first one was Fiction. Fiction, I literally watched him grow through. He also was on So You Think You Could Dance. And now he does a lot of choreography action like Kung Fu. And he's really good. The other one is Keita the Great. If I'm correct, Keita was also on So You Think You Can Dance. Or was it the other one with Jennifer Lopez and all of them? I forgot the name of that one. But either which way, both of them are great. So, Mike, which one appealed to you more?
Keita, I've seen him do other stuff.
Keita's really good.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be one that I saw before. I'm like, I've seen that. But it's not, it wasn't. They're both dope. We know that. I just prefer the first dude.
Fiction.
You know, Fiction did that pop up off the ground, off the floor, like he just had like springs. That was pretty dope.
No doubt. D-Ray, which one appealed to you, bro?
Actually, I prefer this for the dancing.
Fiction.
But I prefer that for the track.
The track was dope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but Fiction wins that.
Yeah.
Because that performance was nuts.
Big time. All right, so that was in. I have another dance. Okay, if I'm correct, this is couples. So let's check this dance.
Hyperactivity disorder, or better known as ADHD, affects an individual's ability to focus, causing them to move around more frequently. They may also have trouble controlling their impulsive behavior.
One time for them praying on my downfall. 2 times for the homies in the child hall. 3 times for them on the internet when they really should get out more. 4 times for the days that were all bad. 5 times they ain't called back. 6 times for the kids like me who got ADHD just to turn the whole world to a life. Walk around the city with an ice pick. I've been paranoid. I ain't like this. Ain't no telling how crazy I might get. So fly, flightless. Family looking at me like a cash cow roll. Everybody different, just a half clown roll. Thought you had a chance, now you out. Them up. Hey, where you at now?
That was Keita, also Keita the Great. I told you, Keita with the
girl, with the Asian girl.
Yeah, and I can't remember her name, and I can't remember the people that started. And I was like, first of all, let me give them props. If you want, go to World of Dance. That's where you get to see a lot of these really dope fiction. You'll see the late twins there. I mean, you'll see pretty much all of them there, but the couple that did like the robot, that was so fire. You got to see the whole skit because it's dope. But anyway, I don't know their names and I apologize for that. So basically this or that. Who did it for you, D-Ray? Let me start with you this time.
Yeah, good.
Don't get me wrong. I love this because the control on that woman's body
crazy
is nuts.
Crazy.
However, I'm gonna go with that because that was just lit, completely lit. So I'm gonna go with that this time.
Okay. What you think, Mike?
It's hard. That was hard.
I'm telling you, that was the freshest thing ever, man.
That was not easy.
If let's say hypothetically, if I was to call it a draw. And if I was
there's no charge, draws in this or that.
If it's a hypothetical,
hypothetical. Okay,
hypothetical.
That's a realistic no.
Yes, it's a realistic no. But check this out. I would make it. I would if I was to be able to do that, I would bring them both together and then have both the girls battle to decide.
Okay.
Because both of them girls, the dudes was nice, but them girls,
was ice.
Serious control, bro.
Ice. Yeah.
They look like bots for real. They look like you pulled them out of a movie. That they was like for real bots dancing. I don't know, man. I just throw it up there. I'll say with this.
Okay.
I'll just say with this because that. They had the prop, she was on the little spinning rotator thing, rotating thing. They had the little prop in there to make it look like she was really a robot, where she really did look like a robot. Yeah. I'll say
it was fire.
I'll say this.
Okay, so here's my choice of picking. The first one, which I tried to crop down everything to kind of be balanced as far as the competition. But the first one, they did a longer dance routine, much longer. The second one was on a TV show. I forgot the name of it, with Jennifer Lopez and all that. So their act was as long as you saw it. That's as long as it was that they got to do. And yeah, they had the energy. They were synchronized. It was fire. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give the first one, I'm going to give this the props only because their skit was longer than theirs. And it's no fault to Keita the Great. And I don't know the other lady's name, but yo, they all killed it. So there's no shame in either of them.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to keep it moving. So we decided to now bring in a different dance style. And this one is crimping. It's crump dancing. I'm over here jacking up the names. I know.
It's crumping.
So let's check
Kev.
it out. Yeah,
It's
this
a Kev
Kev,
thing.
no doubt.
Kev all day.
If you in tune, then you immune. Then the bump this won't hurt. It's always will over skill, huh? So the bump this gon' work, yeah. I bring the glory down, yeah. I bring the glory down, yeah. I bring the glory down, yeah. I put the glory down, yeah. Put the glory down, yeah. I put the glory down. I put the glory, just the glory down. I put the glory down, yeah. 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 Step up.
So crimping is definitely, unique in its own. Crumping, definitely unique in its own, and the amount of energy that's required to have that out of control, that's in control, it's mind blowing. And I know Kev could definitely give his 2 cents more than I could. But all right, Mike, what did you think?
I'll give it to that. He kind of he was explosive, but then he kind of his energy went off down a little bit, towards the end of his routine. But crumping is a lot of explosive, like almost wild energy, and you gotta throw in all of this freestyle.
Big time.
All of this freestyle. Yeah. But you gotta see something when you crumping. You gotta see something else. It's like a DJ doing a set, but then he throws in some tricks. You can do a DJ set and it's nice and smooth. All your blends dope, but then you throw a couple little fun little tricks in there, and it's like, oh, he's amazing, right? That's, to me, crumping needs to be like that. Crumping needs to be like that. You expect the energy, right? The energy crazy, but then you got to throw something else in there that makes it like, yo, you gotta have that. So to me, the second dude did that.
That was
he threw some little, he threw his little quick little step in there, and that was like, the first guy, he was just like crazy energy the whole time, kind of, and then he didn't really, he didn't throw no pizzazz, like old fashioned word. He didn't throw no pizzazz in there.
Understood. That was one half of the Les Twins. That was Larry. So D-Ray, which one did you like, bro?
You know what? I'm gonna pick this just because of what Mike said. It was energy. It was unbridled energy. It was consistent. It was consistent the entire time, and it kept building to the end. And I personally, I like that element. Don't get me wrong. That was cool, but yeah, this kind of did it for me. And you know what? This is weird. Being on this side of the conversation when I know nothing about dance other than whether I like it or not, it's just really, really weird.
Well, that's fine. You're going in as a fan, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
So it is that though. You get it. I mean, choreography is cool. You know, yeah, dancing, but you gotta have something bugged out in. You gotta have something.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
So this one right here is a dance again. This is Dance Cruise. This one I like. So
the whole crew.
Let's check this out. I love this one.
Said she tired, little money, need a big boy. Pull up 20-inch blades like I'm Lil Troy. Now it's everybody flocking, need a decoy. Shorty mixing up the vodka with the liquor. G-Wagon, 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 G-Wagon. All the housewives pulling up. I got a lot of toys. 720S pumping Fallout Boy. You was talking shit in the beginning. Back when I was feeling unforgiving. I know I pissed you off to see me winning. See the hit glue in my mouth and I be grinning. 100 bands in my pocket, it's on me. 100 deep when I roll like the army. Get more bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow. 100 bands in my pocket, it's on me. Yeah, your grandma will probably know me. Get more bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow. Everywhere I go, catch me on the block like a Mutombo. 750 Lambo in the Utah snow. Trunk in the front like that shit Dumbo, yeah.
Jabberwockies. So that right there was Kinjas were the first group, and the last one was the Jabberwockies. So D-Ray, I'll have you shoot on this one, bro.
So I'm a pick this. I of course I prefer the track and I love the choreography. However, I'm going to also give accommodation to that because they had the harder performance because you're doing it in front of a large group of people, and you're dancing to a track that is almost 40 some years old. You know what I mean? And that's not easy. That's not easy to do. You know, so I got to give them credit for that. But I preferred this.
Okay. Was it the track of this, or you like the choreography?
All of it, even down to the wardrobe, because that's kind of like stuff I would wear. So yeah,
yeah, the Kinjas was tight. What about you, Mike?
I give it to this.
Okay.
I give it to this for the whole for the whole package. For the whole package, and what messed it up for me is the high expectation. As soon as I saw it was Jabberwockies, I was like, oh, okay, they got it. I'm like, expectation for Jabberwockies is already up here. I ain't know these other dudes. The whole presentation for the way the video, I was like, well, maybe let me not look at it for the quality of the video. The quality of the video itself, that was dope. The way they're doing their shots, the camera angles, all this stuff, that was dope. Can't really compare it because of that, because Jabberwockies they're performing on a basketball court.
Yeah.
So they didn't have all of that. So I took that out. I consider, well, let me not consider that. Let me just look at the choreography and the blah 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 and the track, and still my expectation for Jabberwockies was instant for me, and it didn't meet my expectation.
Gotcha.
Because they danced to a classic, super classic track that I picked a couple of weeks ago. Super classic track. And to me, in the choreography, they should have acted out the track a little more. You have lots of visuals that you could put with Rocket. With that Herbie Hancock Rocket track. You have visuals that you can put that if you go back and watch the Rocket video, consciously, that's one of the things that makes you like video. Is because it matches the track, that matches the action in the track. The you know, you should physically do something to match the track. That's a part of choreography. You know, the actions in the track, you should show some actions that mimic in the choreography. And they did it a little. I expect Jabberwockies to be up here like every time, and to me it didn't happen.
Get it high.
Sorry, I used to choreograph a little bit for my group, and so you got to pay attention to those things.
Hey,
I'm enjoying not knowing nothing.
Both teams did a great job. Jabberwockies did get beat with video production, as well as, I mean, their outfits were cool. Jabberwockies' outfits were cool, but that's
Always.
them.
Always.
But like you said, they're dancing on a basketball court live, because I think they did the midpoint for NBA Finals, so that was more or less what it was. All right, that song with the Kinges is one of my favorites. So. Sorry. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn this to the DJs. This is one of my faves right this. I let this right here. Let's check it out. Wow. All right. This was DJ Scratch Bastard. And that is DJ Woody. And wow. Impressive. So, Mike, what do you think, buddy?
Scratch Bastard is just that.
Yeah.
DJ Woody was nice though. It's if it was a different track.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a different track,
You take Woody if it was a different track.
I'm giving it to this. I'm giving it to Scratch Bastard.
Okay.
Bastard, but I would have gave it to Woody if it was a better track choice.
Okay.
Because I have a leaning. I have a preference. You can have the dopest scratch skills, and this is I learned how to DJ and scratch and all that other stuff. The dude I learned from, I still want him to get on the show, on the pod. But
Right.
when dudes overdo it, man. I don't like when dudes overdo it. If you're gonna overdo it, then let it enhance the track,
Mm-hmm.
not show how dope you are.
Got it.
You know. I don't know if I don't know.
It's like a point of modesty. I get it.
Yeah, enhance the track.
Mm-hmm.
Enhance the track. Not like over scratch the track to where it's like, okay, we want it. All we hear is you scratching.
Right.
Whereas what Woody did, Woody enhanced the track.
Mm-hmm.
Match the track. He was as a DJ, you should be a musician. The scratching is use your scratching as an instrument to enhance the track. You're adding to the track. You're not overwhelming the track. You're adding to it. You're part of the band, right? You're not gonna just start coming all out in front with your trumpet and get all loud and get you're not gonna do all of that. The rest of the band gonna look at you like, yo, okay. As a DJ, you can do that. You scratching like mad. Everybody knows you're dope. You ain't got to do all of that.
Oh, like you said, he's living up to being a scratch bastard. Yeah.
Yeah. We know that you can. But here's the thing. I know he knows how to do that. It's this particular video.
Yeah.
He's just overdoing it a little bit. But he knows.
Gotcha. All right, D-Ray. Who do you think you like best?
I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with Woody, and I'm gonna go with Woody because it's really it breaks down to preference, right?
Mm-hmm.
What we talk about what do you look for in hip hop all the time? What do you look for in hip hop producers? You know what I mean? I gravitate towards those who have more of a jazz influence, and their approach to DJing is like a jazz musician. A lots of unpredictable improvisation and using the scratching as if it was its own instrument. Right. That's what Woody did right there. Now, what old boy did in this, in my opinion, was like almost like a clinic, a DJ clinic. You get what I mean?
Okay. He did that scribble. He did that scribble.
Exactly. He did that thing. Yeah, he did it. But it's almost like the difference between do I want it complicated or do I want it simple? Today I wanted it simple.
Sometimes simple is dope.
Sometimes simple I can create a vibe to. Complicated, especially if I'm exhausted, I might tune it out. So preference.
Yeah. Depends on what are you trying to do at the moment? What are you trying to
If ever I get the chance to find the one I wanted to originally do for DJ Woody, it would have been hands down. The problem is he had someone commentating at the time, and I didn't. That to me that was a distraction. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought someone was knocking on my doors. There's people doing fireworks. All right. Now,
me too.
I could not do this or that without doing music. But this right here, two songs that were big in the hip hop days. Big, I say. Let's check it out.
Okay.
Ding dong dong ding dong dong. Ba-da-dong, do-da-dong, do-da-dong, do-da-dong. Dum 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 back.
Oh my God.
What are you doing?
My God.
What are you
Hey,
My
bro,
God.
bro, on everything. I'm jumping off of here, getting on YouTube, and listen to that entire thing.
What are
Let me
you
tell you,
doing?
I was this year old when I knew that dude was white. I did not know that.
Yeah,
But even more so, I did not know he was
They're all white.
interpreting. Right,
All of
they
them
mostly are all European and white. What I did not know is what the dendada was him explaining the beats when he was hitting the drums. I never knew that. Doom da da doom doom doo doo doom 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 clap. I didn't know that until I saw him do that, and I was like, "Yo, I love this." The video was dope.
And then he gets into the blah 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 blah. Hey, yo, explosion. It's but they both have explosive parts.
Yeah,
And beatbox and dendada.
that
Oh,
was an intentional piss you off track
they're
battle.
on my list.
That's what I'm
I gotta
saying.
take that off of my list. It's on there. I can show it to you. You want to get the
I
paper?
can believe it. I had ran into it the other day, and I was like, "Oh snap!" So yeah. So I said I had to put these two together as a battle. All right, Judgment Day, Mike.
D-Ray.
Hey, man. See, okay. First of all, that was a sucker move, Mike. Second of all,
No, the sucker move is this dude. That's the sucker move.
no, you pointing the wrong way.
No.
You gotta.
That's V. That's the
Yeah,
V
you
double
point-
3P. That's the V double 3P.
Look. Second of all, I'm gonna have to say Art of Noise, simply because I learned too much from Trevor Horn and Ann Dudley and everybody else with the Art of Noise. You know, they still in rotation from the early 80s to now.
Yeah.
That being said, Dada to me screams New York. That, you know what I mean?
I can agree with that.
That scream. It's almost like the difference between going to a club in Manhattan or going to one of those dance clubs in the UK, right? The clubs that was playing the Art of Noise, 9 times out of 10, I probably didn't want to go there. But the ones that was playing Dada, yes, I wanted to be knee deep in it. So, but yeah.
For me coming up, D-Ray, if you was in New York, same club play Art of Noise, same club that played Dada.
Right.
Because of the dancers. Yo, everybody come out.
Right.
If you can't dance, you got up.
I mean, just
if you
and
couldn't
look,
dance, you still got
and
up.
look, and I don't care who you are. If you're our age, that
Yep.
Come on now.
Yeah.
That's dope.
It's what you're saying is making me like nitpicky compare them now.
Yeah.
Because for all this time I just thought of them as pretty much the same. But Dada has more energy.
And it's been sampled in hip hop a lot more. Whole lot more.
I want to say beatbox. I want to say Art of Noise.
Right.
Say Art of Noise because I just like Art of Noise. I like
Facts.
I like their other music too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the phone. I got in the playlist.
Mm-hmm.
They have a. Oh man, yo, you gotta hear, yo. They have a mission. They did their own spin on Mission. The Mission
Peter Gunn.
Impossible music.
Trust me. Trust me. When it comes to Art of Noise, I know, bro. I know.
Art of Noise is dope.
Yeah, no doubt.
Jeez.
No, I got you. That is not meant to be an easy pick at all.
Just because D-Ray said I don't know it.
I got you.
I'm gonna say then that because you know what? Because I guess because of the energy. I mean, beatbox is more. It's a little. I can't even use the word smooth on it. It's because it's not really smooth.
No,
it's
Dada is more savage to me.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
It's more savage to me, and to
out.
me, yeah.
You know what? It's like Godzilla and King Kong.
I can agree with that. I feel
it's like Godzilla and King Kong. Godzilla edged out. He got it.
Yeah.
King Kong tapped out. He's like, okay, nah, bro. I'm just asking for you to help. It's yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I'll say.
Yeah, both of those tracks.
I'll say Dendada. I'll just say Dendada.
I'll say legendary classics right there, man.
Yeah, because see, Mike, real talk. If he'd have put Moments in Love, this wouldn't have been no. I couldn't even say nothing else but that. I couldn't have said that nothing else but that.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. That's completely
brother.
That's the Quiet Storm.
That was my original Quiet Storm.
The groove, the groove to it. It's and when it gets to the tap part, D-Ray, when everything drops out and it's just that tap.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Tap.
Ooh,
I'm like, yo.
It's like you fall into it. It's like you fall back into a cloud, bro.
Like literally, when that song came out, I had this strange convergence of falling in love with anime, falling in love with hip hop, and all of it just kind of just hit at once. You know what I'm saying? And so, like when I hear that track, it's just like, dude,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
And you got to hear the entire Love Suite, Mike. You got to go, and it's like it goes Love, Moments in Love, and then Five Fingers of Love. You got to listen to them all in sequence. Yeah. I'm gonna put it in our group chat. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the group chat.
I don't think I have all three of those.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the group chat.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a complete vibe.
So before we land the plane, Mike Precise, would you like us to share what you had shared with me? Or you want to save it till next week?
See, dang. Do you have the other one?
I only have one right now, which is the one I showed you.
You don't have the D-Ray? You don't have the D-Ray one?
Mm-mm.
There's a surprise. There's one surprise for each.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I have to make the other one.
Oh boy.
But I got the one, so if you want to save it, we can save it, or if you want to show it, we can show it. It's not that long. That's why I said we can show
it's real quick. Yeah, just show it. You got it prepared.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mike Precise, and this song is called Saying Stuff with Sharita's Beat.
Yo, so I go in with my pen game. I depend in his name. My knee bends to his name, cause I see the end game. When I write in his mic, it's like I got 10 brains. Everything is everything, nothing's ever in vain. Everything is working together like it's a yin yang. It's like Romans 8:28. Check your King James. Weak MCs bite like saber tooth, big fang. Speak new life from the light, it's like Big Bang. He knows the end from the beginning, cause it's his thing. When I rock red, it's cause he bled, I'm in his gang. We carry crosses, have faith when you take losses. Fake bosses give hate, so consider to your sources. Jeremiah 12, we be running with the horses. Renew your brain, get trained, you can take courses. But the spirit makes the change to maintain your courses. He breaks chains, healing lames, it's the same sources.
My soul's just running away, chasing rainbows in the dark. And until the day the eagle flies, I'll wait for you.
Now.
Rita.
Yo, that was dope.
Surprise.
That was dope.
Rita.
So yeah, that was fun, fellas. Kevin had a selection for audio, but due to all of our conversations and everything, we can save it for next week for his way back joint. All right, guys. Shoot. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. As always, we expect you to come check us out. And let me do this real quick. So here, I created the whole ensemble where we have QR codes to Blast Music webpage, Blast Radio 247. You can go to our journalistic magazine, Indie Pulse magazine, and you can find our YouTube channel. So scan to which one you would like to be a part of our ecosystem, which is to help independent artists gain exposure. And we want you to be a part of the family. It is free to join on any of these platforms. Alrighty. And that, guys, was a great night. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week. And like Rakim says, it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. So always keep it at the center. We love y'all. Please be safe. Please be safe out there with them fireworks. And we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
God bless.
Jam in the center.